We are here with the lovely Amanda Smith tonight. She is our hostess or our PGTV or PeriGirls TV Live Streaming Academy. If you're just now joining us, my name is Teresa. I am your host tonight. I am the project manager for Her Choice 2.0 and part of the PeriGirls Leadership Team. Joining me tonight is another portion of our PeriGirls Leadership Team with Miss Amanda Smith. She's going to be giving us tips to help polish our live streaming broadcasting. She has been collecting tips over the past year, and I understand she has a journal packed full of awesome tips that she shares during her live streaming academy. I'm going to turn it over to Amanda, let her introduce herself to you just a little bit more. Amanda, thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Thank you. I am so excited. I've been giddy all day, and I've been sitting here the last half hour just waiting patiently like, I'm anxious, I'm nervous, I'm excited. I'll bubble up into one. Hello, you guys. I see your comments over there. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Amanda Smith. I'm one of the PeriGirl leaders. I'm also a school speech therapist, a blogger, and a planner girl. I've been on Periscope for over a year now, and since day one, I had this Periscope journal with me. It was a weight loss journal, and it turned into a Periscope journal where I would write down everyone's names that I would see in my feed that I want to go back and watch, and mainly most of those that I want to go watch were tips. I want to go check out I wanted to learn. I wanted to absorb it all up and learn everything I could about Periscope and how I could be a better broadcaster, because I just had kind of fallen into Periscope and learning about it and being into PeriGirl, and I wanted to know and be at the top of my game too. So I quickly filled up this journal, and I've moved on to my third journal, which is crazy. And I'm excited. Joanne came up with the idea, man, you should do a show to share all these nuggets. And I'm like, yes, I would love to. So I have a show on Saturday with the PeriGirls TV account, Live Streaming Academy. It's on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time, where I go through, and I've done different episodes where I share with you guys, and you can go back and watch on PeriGirls TV Periscope account all of the past episodes. But I first share with you kind of how to set up everything so you're setting up for success. Then I share with you guys what to do right before you push that big red button, some prep ideas. Then I shared then during your broadcast how to interact with building your tribe and engaging with your viewers. And just last week I shared with all of you guys how to wrap up your Periscope and kind of follow up with your viewers. This coming Saturday, that's October 15th, which is crazy, halfway through this month already, I'll be sharing with you guys some scoping etiquette as well as how to deal with those trolls, right? Those are it's kind of two different things here, but hopefully I'll be able to conquer those this Saturday. So Teresa was like, hey, let's do some top 5 tips. And I was like, it's gonna be hard to narrow it down to just 5. So I'll do my best. I may have some bonus tips in there. So does everyone have a pen and paper or a tablet or something, a device to take these notes on? Because you're gonna definitely need these. Or I also am looking for any questions. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to type those in the chat. I have that pulled up here so I can read those and answer those as we go as well. Thanks again, everyone, for joining me. I really appreciate you guys being here, whether you're watching this live or on the replay. I'm so excited to see all of your faces. All right, let's get started. I really didn't number these. I just put like little hearts by the ones I wanted to talk about. So stop me if you guys have any questions throughout any of this. So first tip is to check your lighting and your camera angle. I don't know how many scopes I still go into that I see that they're hidden down here in their broadcasts and they're covered up by comments, or it's too dark, I can't see them. I know I have bad lighting. I wish I had some anti-glare glasses with this. But checking your camera angle and your lighting before you go live is key. I'm going to say that a lot, is key. So one of the ways is I just flip over on my front-facing camera on my phone before I go hit live and just check, make sure where I'm set up and everything is okay. Now, if you're scoping in the same location, it's good to, kind of set up a setting or a set, so to speak, have some lighting. At one point in here, this is our office, I had taken our entryway little desk light and just put it on the other side of the desk so I could have light coming from both ways, because it's not really ideal to have this overhead light on here. I do have a window over there with natural lighting. Natural lighting is like the best. You can get that too. I know you can go to scopegear.perigirls.com to check out any other, I have so many cards here, and I have one of these that has that on here, but Scope Gear, if someone can enter that in the comments, scopegear.perigirls.com to check out all the different lighting and microphone mounts for you guys to check out if you want to look at that to kind of up your scoping game as well. Something with your camera angle, you want to be kind of eye level with the camera. So figure out on your phone or your device, which one is the camera. On an iPhone, it's this one over here to the side. It's not that one at the top. I'm not sure what that one at the top is. But make sure you're smiling at that person. That's tip number 2, or for counting, it's the next one on my list, is to smile. Look like you're having fun. I've gotten into someone's scope before, and they're like this. They're talking in monotone, and they just weren't smiling. I wasn't in there very long at all. I was like, peace out. Yes, smile. Just opening up you're going to make someone else smile, and it's so much more inviting when you're looking at them in the camera angle. I know or in the camera lens, and I know it's very distracting. You see a whole screen of yourself, and it's hard to not focus on yourself, but to look at the comments and the camera lens at the top there, and just smile, have fun, right? Even if you're nervous a little bit, it's excitement. Go with it. Have fun. And that shows too when you're having fun. And if you're not having fun, it's kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to watch this. Let's see what else. Your title, make sure it's informative and to the point. I know I've clicked into scopes that are like, whoa, this is really, I want to go check this out because of the title. Have you guys had titles? What's the title that you've seen? What's about that title that's made you want to click into it or watch it? I know for me, if they have a hashtag, if they use keywords or a hashtag that strikes my interest, I'm interested in any kind of tips or tricks. I love watching planner scopes or other PeriGirls. If I see them using those hashtags or those keywords, I will definitely, it kind of gets my attention, and I'll go jump over there. Also using just a few emojis. You don't want to pile up your whole title with emojis, but working on those darn titles. I know it is hard. It's exactly the same thing with your bio. Having your bio up to date and on point, it's really key as well. So you're searchable. Make sure your titles are interesting, intriguing. Don't make it too clickbaity. I don't know why one day hashtags and biz-oriented words grab my attention. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for sharing that, Michelle. I one day had a scope. I was out on my back porch, something like fun in the sun. I got tons of trolls for some reason. I guess fun in the sun was like they thought I was gonna be in my swimsuit, I guess. I don't know. I'm not drinking alone if you are with me. Although that was one that cracked me up. That's like a funny title, Laura Key. Yes, thank you for sharing that. So using hashtags. Also, Michelle Garrett shared in, I think it was Michelle, shared in the EKG today in the Heart Tribes, shared about how your title, make sure it's Twitter friendly. So when you're sharing out your broadcast, when you go live, make sure your title isn't too long, because you know Twitter for some reason it only has 140 characters, so about 120 characters are okay for your title, depending on how long your handle is, and that live on Periscope eats up some of those characters there. So that I need to be sure I update my website on my bio. Yes. Good point, Nina. Your bio, making sure your photo and your bio are up to date, making sure your websites are, you can even shorten your website, go to a website shortener like Google or Bitly, and shorten your website and having it there so you can always direct your followers to go check there. If you're maybe out on the go and you don't have a card to show, you can always direct your viewers to go check out your bio and look there for your website. Also having notes, like here, I'm reading your comments and I'm making sure I want to read your comments and I'm going to stay on track. Same thing with during your broadcast, either whether that's on Facebook Live, any other broadcast in Periscope, live streaming, making sure you have some kind of notes and outline or bullet points, and make sure you stick to those too. I know it's easy sometimes to read the comments and get off track, so bring your notes to stay on topic and to stay on task. I've jumped into scopes before, and it must have been like halfway through or over or whatever or something, and they weren't even talking about what was in the title, and I kind of tried to stick around, and I don't know if they were just done talking about everything, but it was not even on topic, so I quickly went out of there because it wasn't worth my time. Another thing is talking about worth your time, is thanking your replay viewers. I said this last week, we all have busy lives, and it's very appreciated, right? When people jump in your scope, whether it's watching a 3-minute scope, a 5-minute scope, even a half-hour scope. So you want to make sure you thank them for their time, even if they're watching it on the replay. I know when I've listened to scopes and I'm like, oh, I'm glad they thanked me, because I did, just spend a half hour listening to them where I could have been doing this or that. So thanking your replay viewers is or even your live viewers for watching you is very key as well, because they've taken time out of their day to listen to you, whether that was they were there, interacting with you or listening just while they're multitasking as well. And I know I personally have jumped back into their scopes or listened to them more when they've thanked me and they show appreciation. I also share how you can contact them afterwards. Yes, for sure. If you have questions, pop them in the chat. I would love to answer them as we go. Thanking your viewers afterwards. One of the other tips I have, I'm just like throwing them all out here. I feel like I'm word vomiting on you guys. You're welcome. Thank you. No, is it Natasha? You're welcome. Is watching your replays back, watching your own replays. I know it's hard sometimes, and I hate listening to my sound of my own voice sometimes as well. But I've learned so much just by listening to your, well, good morning, just by listening to my own replay. There's words that I say that are like, I just keep saying that over and over and over. I need to break the habit. Or there's times that I'll notice I've been outside and it's too windy and I needed a microphone. I often will just use my mic or my headset from my phone. Also, I've checked when I've been out and about and I'm like, oh, that was bad signal. I shouldn't be out there. I shouldn't be in that location because of bad signal. I've learned all of that from watching my own scopes back. So I encourage you guys to watch your own scopes back so you provide yourself with feedback, where there's maybe comments that you missed that you didn't watch the first go around. And then when you're watching those replays, you can also jot down those names of people that maybe asked you questions or engage with you, or you see them repetitively in your scope, so you can go thank them. I usually follow up with people on Twitter, send them personal messages or tweet them, thanking them personally. And I know there's some websites or softwares that you can use that will like send out automated messages to people, but I like sending personal messages. It's kind of like sending a little thank you note after someone attended your seminar or your conference, and just thanking them for their time and watching you and maybe asking feedback for them. What's something you'd like to see on my next scope, or do you have any questions? Following up with them. I haven't got to the point watching my scope. Oh, I've gotten to a point of watching your own scopes back. Yeah. Any other questions over here? Welcome, good morning. Thanks for joining me, you guys. I'm glad you're doing these tips. If you have any questions, I would love to hear your favorite tip that you guys you've learned or you've heard. Another one is having a call to action. Having a contact or a little card. I have several cards over here, but one of them I have all of my contact information that I will show during my scopes. But having a call to action at the end of your scope or the beginning of your scope, letting your viewers know where they can find you or follow up with you or contact you. Sharing your website, your blog, maybe you want to share them to your Instagram or your Twitter or even your Snapchat, directing them to those to follow up with you or to connect with you elsewhere, kind of helping you build your tribe. Yes, using a call to action, getting better at call to actions. I know sometimes I will forget that, sometimes we'll forget the call to action, and I realize, it's better to have that in there so you're building your tribe and you're kind of getting to know your tribe or your community that you're building. Never done an official call to action. Yeah, I maybe just try it, one of your scopes or something, Nina. I know you have a wonderful just telling them how to connect with you or sending them to one of your blogs or your websites. Also having a reset. If you have a longer scope, tell your followers. That's another key point or tip, is to tell them, your viewers, how to share you out or how to comment or give hearts. Sometimes you may be the very first person that they've ever seen on Periscope, so they may not know how to give hearts or how to show where to follow you. So giving them instructions at the beginning and even at the end. I like sharing them at the end, so then after they've watched your scope and they're like, oh, I like this, just reminding them, if you like this or enjoyed this content, share this out. Your followers may enjoy it as well. Do you keep a record of new followers? I don't personally keep a record. I like to set goals of having a heart, like our follower goal, just to kind of making sure I'm making progress and I'm upping my game and providing valuable content. But I don't really keep record of anything. I will reach out to people, but how long have you been on Periscope? Are you asking me or Susan? Let's see here. So I did the call to action, watching your replay back. The audience. Oh, asking your audience how long they've been on Periscope. Oh, I was talking about the reset. So when you asked your followers to share you out, either at the beginning or at the end, you will get then people coming in, trickling in, right? So they've come in and they may not have caught your first couple points, or they may not even know who you are because they've never watched your scopes. So doing a reset, sort of like when people come back from a commercial break, like on a news show or on, more Good Morning America or something, they'll do kind of like, hey, or they'll have a thing at the bottom. Well, we don't have that luxury of having the little title at the bottom. But just letting your people know, hey, I'm Amanda Smith, and you're joining me during the top 5 or more live streaming tips. And this is what I'm talking about now, sort of thing, or kind of recap of the points that they may have missed. Good question. How to build a tribe? That's a wonderful question. Thank you for asking that. I appreciate that. One of the ways I have found building my tribe is scoping daily, scoping on a consistent schedule, so they know when to show up, where you're going to be, and they kind of expect that. Then they're kind of like, oh, she's going to be on every day at 3 o'clock or something. So building a tribe, also interacting with your viewers. Are there scopes that you go to that they know you by name and they call you out? I love that. I know that I will come back to their scope and I've kind of built a connection when they call me out by name. So when you see people come into your scopes, asking them if their handle isn't very clear, asking them what their name is, or maybe where they're from, and getting to know them. I know Periscope, it's kind of hard, but building a connection, having that two-way street, that friendship. So it's kind of both ways. So jumping into their scopes, following them, seeing what they're all about, seeing if there's something where they would provide content to you, and connecting with them and watching their scopes, just going back and forth. Start putting notes in front of me to remind me of things. Yes, good, Laura, it's good to hear that. Awesome. So something else to build your tribe, not only so to be consistently scoping every day, interacting with them, is to that thought just left my mind. Oh goodness. I looked at and saw something else with gauging your followers, of learning their names and calling them out, but thanking your viewers as well. I cannot stress that enough, is thanking your viewers or your audience members for coming in as well. So does anybody else have any other questions or anything? I'll kind of do a run through of all my little notes here of all the ones I've missed and maybe ones I've gone over. So I talked about camera angle and lighting, so checking that on your front-facing camera before you go live. And now I know on Android's had this for a while, but iOS, you can tap on it real quick when you have it on when you put your title in, you can tap on it really fast to put it onto yourself, and you kind of, sometimes I'll fix my hair, make sure I look okay before I hit the live broadcast, or I'll check it in my camera, my front-facing camera, making sure my makeup or whatever, my hair is okay, so I'm not fixing it like that during my first scope. So checking your camera angle and your lighting, making sure you're smiling and you're engaging with your viewers and looking in that little camera hole, finding out which dot on your phone is your camera hole, the camera angle, making sure your title is informative, intriguing. Don't make it too clickbaity. You don't want to invite all the trolls in or invite people in and they leave because they're like, this isn't what it was all about. So making sure it's informative. Also, a little bonus tip with that is you can save your titles in your phone on your memo. Like I have a little note section on my phone, and so I will just put them there so I can copy it and then paste it in when I'm ready to go. If for some reason the broadcast shuts down, Periscope is glitchy, I can just copy and paste it right back in there and I'm ready to go instantly and I don't skip a beat. That's also a good tip when you're going with past the cast, so you're ready to go when you're up next and going live. Also with my show, the LiveStreaming Academy, I've already got all of my titles for my 10 episodes already typed out. So I can just, when Saturday afternoon comes around, I just go in and copy episode 5 or whatever is next and hit it in and hit broadcast or hit paste and hit broadcast, and I'm ready to go live. So let's see, I was hoping Scopetober has helped me scope more just with PeriGirls prompts. I know. So Scopetober with the PeriGirls, it's been just a phenomenal program. I love the idea behind it. If you're unfamiliar with that, with the PeriGirls, we have a challenge for Scopetober, or for October, is to scope every day. And it's been awesome to see people jump back in and getting back in the habit. And it's been helpful. I noticed people building their tribes by just getting in there and being consistent every day. Sort of figuring out a time of day to broadcast and scoping at different times. Yeah, I understand that if you work during the day, or if you have a really busy schedule, or if it fluctuates, it changes a lot, I know. Just being consistent, just scoping every day is step one. Just finding the right time to scope is always an issue for you, yes. I agree. I'm busy, so trying to find a consistent schedule and trying to just stick to it. Even if you're maybe 2 days or 3 days out of the week, trying it at the same time, or trying to figure out for a week or 3 days, seeing what works best for you. Oh, lovely, right? I'm gonna plug in my computer. Shoot. Let's see. I know how Teresa follows up on Twitter after the broadcast and thanks her viewers personally. Yes. I like that as well. I've been playing with times. I like it to be early in the day when I look fresh, but I do more viewers in the evening. Yeah, that's a good point, Laura. In the morning, I've noticed I don't have as many viewers, or I'll have people across the pond jumping in my scopes during that time. But I do notice that in the evening, I do have a lot more viewers. Finding out what works best for you, and realize you do have the replay too, even on Facebook Live. Oh, great.
I think Amanda has frozen for just a moment. She will pop back on. So everyone hold on. Sometimes we have just a few little technical glitches. She will come back on very shortly. We have been having some extraordinary tips that she's been giving us today. Hopefully all of you have written these down and will continue to take these and hone in on these special tips. If you have never seen Amanda do her live streaming academy, be sure and catch her on Saturdays. I believe that is at 4 o'clock Eastern? Could someone please confirm that and type that in for me? Hey, how are you? How are you, Natasha? Happy Wednesday to you. Hello, Collier. How are you today? Congratulations, Collier, on being trending on Periscope. It's very exciting. I love it when our PeriGirls are chosen and they shine, and when people love on you like you deserve to be loved on. Amanda, okay. Are you back?
I'm back. So
okay, it's all you.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Make sure your devices are fully charged. I thought mine was. Oh my goodness. So I was recapping my notes, and I was reading, I know, some of the points over here. I was talking about how Laura talked about or shared how scoping in the morning and you get more viewers in the evening. Another question from Natasha, can you support with how to close or choose or develop content? I can. With trying to find a topic. If you're in the PeriGirls, we have daily assignments, so you can always have an idea of what to scope provide or prompt. We also have, in the Heart Tribes, we have a word of the day on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you're in the Heart Tribes, you can always scope about that. You can also look at what your hobbies, what are you interested in? What's something you can teach your viewers? That's a tip that I learned when I first started broadcasting, is trying to find something that you're interested in, sharing your hobbies and your interests, and teaching someone something. So my very first Periscope ever was teaching people how to make summertime tea. I wish I had that scope because it would probably be crazy. I didn't have a mount at the time, and it was probably just all over the place. But I just kind of went from there, teaching people how to do things and just sharing from my heart and what I love to do. So hopefully, so what are some things, Susan, or is it Natasha? What are some things that you love to do or that you are interested in? What are some things that maybe some of your hobbies, or what's something you can teach people that you can broadcast about? Susan said, yes, that's one thing I learned from PeriGirls, is just to follow and watch all. Yes, find people that you're interested in and watch them and catch them. Thank you, Joanne, for posting that. A reminder, my show on Saturdays, Live Streaming Academy at 1 p.m. Pacific time, so that's 4 p.m. Eastern. Let's see, any other comments or anything I missed? I'm trying to catch up on anything. So sorry about that, guys. Yeah, making sure your devices are fully charged. I often have a little battery packed for my phone to go out when I'm out and about, or just when I'm low on battery, because especially on Saturdays after the Twitter chat on Saturday morning and the scope train and then my show on Saturday, my phone is completely dead by the end of all of that. That's fun. I also share with you guys making sure you have bullet points. It's written down if you have a longer scope, just making sure you go over that content and you don't get a little too far off track, making sure you're on topic, that it matches your title. Also engaging with your viewers, calling them out by name or learning their names so you can welcome them in personally or even thanking them afterwards. Making sure you have a call to action so they can contact you or find out where they can follow you elsewhere, whether that's on Instagram or Twitter, Snapchat, or even finding your blog or your website. Making sure your bios have keywords and are up to date. Making sure your pictures. I've also heard from people that they like, or they've said recommend putting the similar or same profile picture on across all social media. So then they find you, they know, oh, that's her, or wear something similar, your hair is similar. I know that's kind of hard, but I've tried to update all of that so they kind of looked similar across the board. Promoting out beforehand, so I don't think I've said this one, putting on Twitter or Instagram, hey, I'll be live in 15 minutes, and this is what I'll be talking about. So people, your viewers on there can be like, oh yeah, she's gonna be going live. So I make sure I watch that or catch that live or watch her on the replay. And last one is to watch your own replay, providing yourself with feedback, looking at your camera angle and your lighting, making sure that's okay. And also another point is when you're in public, people, if you're in a public environment, people around you may not want to be broadcast or shown. So you just want to take that into consideration when you're out and about, that there are people around you. Just kind of either be like, hey, I'm going to broadcast, or just kind of seclude yourself so you're not showing a whole lot of people behind you. I know I've been at places and I will just kind of sit up against a wall or sit kind of in a corner, so I have a little more privacy and less noisy, and make sure I have a microphone. I usually use just have my headset with my phone, or from my phone, and so not a whole lot of other people are in the background in case they don't want to be broadcast, especially my husband. He does not like to be shown on social media like Periscope, so I'll make sure he's not going to be coming through my background. And the last one there is resetting. If you have a longer scope, make sure you're resetting, just sharing who you are, again, what you're talking about for anybody that came in maybe halfway through or towards the end of your broadcast and they may not know what you're talking about, right? So you're welcome, Michelle. I'm so glad you guys came in here. Do we have any other questions? I know we're wrapping up here. It would be great to have Eastern thing, which covers all followers. Yeah, the time zone thing, that's a little hard. That's something I've definitely learned, and it's definitely a learning curve too, trying to like do the math and try to think like Pacific time to Eastern time. And I don't know what BST is. What's that? I know the mountain time. I would love people to get into ham it up in your background. You have people photobombing you in your background, like you see on news anchors in the background. That'd be pretty funny. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. If you have any other questions, feel free to contact me at Miss Amanda Smith 11 on Periscope or on in the PeriGirls group. There's my, I really can't see myself there. There we go. There is my handle if you want to follow up with me, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to contact with you guys or help you guys with any of your scopes or any questions you may have. I really appreciate you guys all being here and seeing all the comments and the love and support. I know we don't have hearts going up the side, but all your comments there have warmed to my heart. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much for giving us so many awesome tips to take and apply those to our daily broadcast. Ladies, I really appreciate, and gentlemen, each and every one of you in the audience who have jumped in, offered your content as far as your questions, your tips, interacting with Amanda. Thank you to all the replay viewers. Again, be sure and follow Amanda on all Instagram, all social media. She has some beautiful Instagram quotes. You want to make sure you definitely follow her on Instagram as well as on her Periscope. And make sure that you're catching her live streaming academy on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, because it's just a fabulous, fabulous time. Thank you so much for all those lovely hearts. BST is British Standard Time. So Joanne wanted me to just briefly say one little thing about the Twitter. It's really important to go back and give a little heart for love and retweet and add a little comment thanking them for being in your broadcast, and use a current hashtag if it applies to that day or something. It gets more eyes on your information. So use those hashtags. Use Twitter to your advantage. Be sincere and authentic with it. It really makes a difference. But don't be afraid. It's just like going and just, as Amanda says, giving a special little thank you, because she sends those little special thank you tweets to her audience as well. Very, very important. So thank you all for being here. Now we are going to be having our Leadership Pass the Cast at 7 o'clock Pacific time. So just at the top of the hour. Hope you will come join us. We will have Miss Amanda, Evie, LaShonda, and myself. So we're going to be talking tonight about teachers and how that maybe a memory they impacted us, as far as that's made a difference for us. And also, I'm going to do a shameless plug. If you like to do DIY, be sure and check out tomorrow, because I'm going to be doing our Wanderlust DIY at 9 a.m. Pacific, and I'm going to be teaching you how to repurpose some items you have at home to do some holiday decorating. So thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.